Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I will be playing the Delta Green RPG. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. The scenario is music from a Darkened Room. It was written by Dennis Detweiler, and it's available from Drive-Thru RPG and Art Dream Publishing. I'm the Game Master, and this is Episode 7. Our recap will be given by Mark Anthony as his character, Agent Jockey. So without any further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Mark?
Thank you, Tom. Opera correspondence, Operation Iago. Field update into the Spooner residence. Origin, Agent Jockey. We are making good progress into identifying the source and circumstances of the paranormal activity within the Spooner residence. I have been fortunate enough not to fall victim to any poltergeist-like assault or puppetry, similar to what Hermes experienced. Yet what I have experienced conjures goose flesh alike. We regrouped at the house, and it was not long before the unexplained started to occur, beginning with a child's toy phone ringing and an ominous voice asking the whereabouts of previous tenants who met their demise. I'm looking for Amanda Braintree. How about Miss Wheeler? I know she's there. We then found a completely eviscerated cat after hearing mules coming from the main hall, and we know that Adele de Vitello was involved in such heinous acts. Not long after, we witnessed an invisible axe putting dents into the wood in the den. Although we stand witness to many unexplained events in the house, we reached an impasse with what to do next. We all agreed to contact Miss Tucker concerning antiques sold from the house. We found out that there was a grand piano in the house that was purchased by a Leela Cordry in the 70s, and we thought well to try and contact Miss Cordry, promptly due to the fact that we all heard piano music from a darkened room not long ago. We planned to meet in person with Miss Cordry and discuss more about the piano. Myself, Lake, and East ventured to the Italian-American Heritage Centre to see if we could shed any more light upon the dark secrets of the abode. But, unfortunately, we did not find much useful information. Fox and Hermes, on the other hand, proceed to go to the house alone, equipped with what means to perform a sort of seance in an attempt to open a medium of communication with what lies in the house. Credit is due to both agents for taking on such a task as a pair. After the experiences that have scarred us beyond those hideous thresholds, no sane person would dare chance their luck once more. No sane person, indeed.
Excellent. So as I recall where we left off, Agent Hermes was in the living room, or
Yes,
the den, with Agent, suddenly can't remember his name, Agent Fox, and an apparition of who appears to be Mrs. Wheeler has floated through the room, and is moving towards the bedroom, the master bedroom. As you stand there, observing this, before you can act, Agent Fox suddenly doubles over in pain, and begins gagging.
Oh dear!
As if he has, as if he's almost choking on his own saliva. Agent Hermes, as you're standing there, do a power roll.
Yes, sir. Okay. Success.
Okay. What happens to you is you suddenly get this whiff of a horrible, fetid, rotting flesh smell. And as it doesn't cause you to double over, but Agent Fox suddenly vomits on the floor and staggers to the door, and he runs off into the night. You
Fox.
Don't know to where.
Fox.
As you turn and look, though, Mrs. Wheeler is in the master bedroom, beckoning you to come.
I'm not gonna, just barge right in there. I'm gonna, slowly go in there, and just take a couple steps. How does she respond? Is this, is she reacting as I baby step my way towards her?
She seems to be smiling at you evilly.
Oh, okay, that's gonna stop me.
Um,
What do you want? Use American English and peacefully state your intentions and desires.
she turns slowly and she points at the broken pieces of mirror on the ground.
That was an accident. I apologize. I will have your mirror fixed.
She moves farther into the room, and you can see her move into the mirror, the one mirror that's remaining. Now you'd have to actually go into the room to see her.
Yeah, that whole evil smile thing, just no. It's not happening. Um, you know, I think I'm gonna call this a win for the night. I know the whole original plan was stay the entire night, but this isn't like some stupid dare that I've learned. Fox is, sickened himself. I'm good. This is gonna be me leaving the house now.
Okay. Are you going to lock up?
Hell yeah.
When you get into your car and you start to pull out, you don't see Agent Fox anywhere.
What?
And you sort of look around hoping that he'll see you and come to the car, but he doesn't.
I know it's late and everything, but it's not that crowded here. Honk the horns,
Okay.
hit the high beams a couple times, trying to alert him.
You do that a couple times, and you do that one time, and
Okay.
nothing happens. You do it a second time, and you start to notice people's lights come on. People's
I'm a
porch
good
lights.
neighbors. Give it a 10 count, and if he's not around, just be like, well, I'm not staying here. It's not a good place.
All right. Nothing happens.
Okay.
So you drive off, I assume, back to the apartment. All right.
Yes.
Agent East, Agent Lake, and Agent Chalky, you were back at the apartment, I believe. Is that correct? Maybe going over your notes before you go to bed.
Was that right, or were we at the Heritage Center?
No, this is
nighttime now.
We were back at the motel.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna sleep, and then we were waiting to. Some of us were waiting up.
Okay.
Just in case we got we're dying in the house call,
Why don't you all do POW rolls?
03, which is a regular because this is Delta Green.
Oh, hey, I got a 22, which is a crit because it's Delta Green.
Okay.
That's a fail for me.
Okay. So what happens is this. Agent Chalky, excuse me, you fall into kind of a deep sleep. And in the deep sleep, you suddenly find yourself inside the Wheeler house, inside the Spooner residence. Everything is kind of dark. You think you're in the den, but the house is empty. And all of a sudden, two people come into the room. They have candles. One of them is Mrs. Wheeler. You can tell it's her. And the other woman is a much smaller, rounder, old Italian woman. And as they walk in, the old Italian woman is singing a folk song in Italian, and the basic gist of the words that you can pick out, because it's not really loud, is my Italian's terrible. Un modo oscuro ho vigiato. A dark way I have traveled, and it's you're pretty sure it sounds like an old folk song. You don't recognize it offhand, but they come in, and they seem to be standing. There seems to be something like an octagon in the middle of the room, though you're not quite sure what it is. It's a dream. There's something wrong with the dream. And then there is a third person standing there. It's a man. He's completely naked, but his upper half is all in shadows, and you get a feeling of absolute terror and dread from this third person, and you wake up with a start. You can do a sanity roll. Agent East and Agent Lake, you sleep pretty soundly until you hear a car pull up outside, which is Agent Hermes hopping out of his car, not bothering to be extremely quiet. He's upset.
Yeah.
That's a regular pass, by the way.
Okay. Just take one sanity damage.
I guess I'll sort of sit up from where I was, like, maybe sleeping on the couch or something, and be like, "Oh, what is that? Who is that?" And I'll I'll get up and go to the window and sort of do the thing where you sort of peer out.
Yeah, you can see it's Hermes, but he doesn't have Agent Fox with him.
That's odd.
Well,
I'll go open the door and be like, "Get in here."
hi. So, hi.
What happened?
Where the hell's Fox?
I don't know.
What do you
Well,
don't
that's
know?
not
What do you mean
good.
you don't know?
He had another type of episode, but instead of trying to hurt himself, he basically he doubled over saying, "What is that smell?" And he just kept on puking. And then he stumbled out of there. I called after him. I smelled something kind of like decomp, but nothing that powerful. And then I saw Mrs. Wheeler beckoning me to go into the master bedroom. We had a brief conversation, stretching that word to its breaking limit, at which point I went after Fox, basically, and I didn't see him anywhere.
What did she say?
I asked her to use words. She did not. I asked her what she wanted. She pointed to the broken mirror. I apologized, said I would get that repaired and replaced for her, and said, "What else can I do for her? What do you need here?" And she just had this, this creepy, evil smile. All right, and it was a weird night, to say the least. Fox,
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. No, you can go ahead.
To clarify. Okay. What do you mean by an evil? I mean, okay, she had an evil grin.
But this isn't like, someone's been, being like mischievous. It's like, ooh,
Okay.
I stole the, like, this was like, I'm going to torture and feast on your soul type of grin. I mean, this was bad. And she kept on beckoning me into the master bedroom, and I was like, nope, not doing it. I'm going after my fellow agent, and got out of there. But I am concerned about Fox, but something very interesting happened earlier.
Okay.
Here, get everyone in here. What are they, asleep or something? Get Agents Jockey and East in here.
I'll just sort of, call them over from across the motel room or the adjoining room.
I'm listening.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, where's Jockey?
Jackie's right here.
Oh, there you are, Jackie. Okay.
Well,
awake?
I wasn't getting much sleep anyway.
Yeah, sorry.
No. Spent too much time in that house. It's starting to get to me a wee bit.
What do you mean?
Just just bad dreams, seeing things.
I mean, these can't be ghosts, right? Like, there has to be some sort of explanation for this. I mean,
I hope so, because before Fox got sick, we proceeded with the idea of the seance, which I gotta say, I still think it was a stupid idea, but whatever. We might have learned something from it, or it might have caused Fox to go running away from something. Fox and I both saw Mrs. Wheeler as an old lady, and there was another old lady, and Mrs. Wheeler was saying, no, I won't do that. And I'm pretty sure the other lady was speaking with a heavy Italian accent.
okay.
I wonder what she was trying to get her to do.
I don't know. Wasn't there like a whole thing where she bailed out her kids, the younger Italian kids that got in trouble with the law?
Yeah.
I think East's theory about taking over the body of the host is quite morbid, but also, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibilities.
I mean, it's sounding more and more likely all the time.
Yeah.
What was?
I'd like you to all do a listen roll.
Okay.
Alertness?
Yeah.
Alertness, sorry.
So unless
no,
it's
that's
doubles, it's just a regular success.
Yeah.
I failed.
Well, one still counts. One in doubles.
Regular.
It's
success.
an 8. It's an 8.
So that's a success.
It's a success, but it's not like Call of Cthulhu where it's like,
Right.
No.
It's just regular
yeah,
success.
yeah.
Who succeeded?
I did.
I did.
Okay.
I didn't. I failed.
I succeeded.
Okay. Agent Lake and Agent East and Agent Hermes. You hear a light buzz noise. Who has the cell phone?
I would have
So.
called you guys, so I don't have it.
I do.
Oh, I think it was East. Yeah.
Okay. East, when you pick up the phone, this is what you see. It's on in chat. You also notice now that there are a number of previous messages also uncoded.
What is this number?
What is what number?
There's no phone number.
You mean? Well, I don't have a phone. I'll be quiet.
East. What are you talking about?
There's messages here. They say to come back to the house. They're not in code.
I actually received a message like that the last time I had the phone, and I thought it was just the house screwing with you. We know the house can make you see and hear things. So if I
Devices?
I'm glad you kept that information to yourself, Agent Hermes.
Yeah, that's
I would
also
hate for
good
us
to know.
this. Can I reply?
I wouldn't.
I want to text
but I
it
mean,
back. I want to text it back. Who is this?
So if we look at the phone, we all see the messages.
Yes.
Is the message I received the other day still on there?
Yep.
There you go. See, there's the one I received.
Sorry.
Another message appears on the phone.
It's ordering me now. You were ordered to go back. Plushy. Can I? And there's no number. Like, this is so strange. I want to. Can I? Is there a way for me to try to call back the number?
You don't know, but it seems that it seems to be responding, at least in part, to you.
What would the phone number for the Spooner residence be?
I don't think there's a phone
Well,
there.
there's not a number listed. That's the odd part.
There was child's phone that rang.
Right.
But
I'm
there
sure
is,
that
there's
has good
no,
service.
to clarify, there's no home phone at the Spooner residence. There's no home phone.
No, there's no
Yeah.
phone there currently.
Is there dial-up? I figured.
Let's set the phone down.
All right, listen, well, this is definitely spooky. I mean, that we can say that.
No, it's spooky.
I think obviously there's some, dare I say, unnatural things going on here. So perhaps we should maybe ignore it and just continue with our investigation. I mean, we can go.
That's what I did.
Plans to go speak with the piano lady tomorrow.
That's good. Look here. Part of the reason I ignored the
Here,
message.
look, we need to find Fox. Where are the keys? Where are the car keys?
Here. I hand you the
Thanks. I
cartridge.
take them and I leave with the phone.
Bye.
Are you sure you don't want to take someone with you? Okay.
Jockey.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not, like I said, I'm not getting any more sleep, so a brisk walk would help me.
All right, I'll buddy with Hermes. We should stay in pairs if we can.
Yeah.
Okay, so Hermes and Lake are staying at the motel.
Yeah.
And East and Jockey are going out.
Yes.
Okay. So Agent Hermes and Agent Lake, you're at the motel. What are you going to do? Try to go back to sleep? Try to just sit up and chit
Yeah,
chat?
I mean, I got a meeting with I'm trying to meet the lady tomorrow, so I don't want to be cranky. And I figure,
That's actually a good
All right.
point.
Well, do a power roll,
okay,
All right. Just him or both of us?
both of you.
that's a fail.
I'm rolling.
70 is a
great
fail.
tonight. I pass. I'm rolling
Okay.
awesome tonight.
So Hermes manages to fall asleep, and Lake, you keep tossing and turning and thinking about strange, ugly old Italian women hiding in the shadows. You're not sure if you're just freaked yourself out. Agent Jockey and Agent East, you have gotten in the car, pulled down the driveway, and you're on the street. What do you guys do? Or what conversation do you guys have?
Jockey.
Yes.
The phone. The messages on the phone are telling me to kill East, or telling me to kill Hermes and Lake.
What? They're telling you to kill them?
Yeah, look.
And
Yes,
obviously-
see, clearly there's two messages. Kill Agent Hermes. He is lying. Agent East, do it. Agent Lake is lying. None of these are coded messages.
Well, we know that the house is, I mean, it's probably fair to say the house is trying to turn whoever goes into it against each other. But like,
Right, but I mean, Agent Hermes has been getting messages from this thing and wasn't telling us about it. And now Fox isn't here anymore. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you?
what do you think the house is trying to split us apart?
No,
To divide us?
Where is Fox? Agent Jockey.
Well,
I mean, the two of them were alone, and now
you don't think he could have killed him?
I don't know. We
He-
need to keep an eye
he
on him
was-
for sure. If we can't find Fox, That's not
Yeah.
good.
I mean, we both seen it. He was puppeted before, and I mean, it's not impossible. It could have happened again. He might have done it. He might have done it completely unknowingly.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, we can't just leave him out there as a loose end
Oh yeah.
if Fox is out there. So I intend to spend the next few hours driving around that area looking for Fox.
Yeah, I'll happily be the second pair of eyes assisting with that.
All right, so you're going to drive around for a while. You don't see hide nor hair of Fox. Do you drive by the house?
What do you think? I mean, if there's any weight to that theory, and he's not here, his body might be in the house. What do you think?
I think we can take a quick glance by the house. I don't want to go inside.
Yeah, just to make sure there's no signs of a struggle or anything like that.
Okay. As you go by the house, there seem to be candles lit in all of the windows.
What the hell? What were they doing here?
Well, they said they were going to attempt that seance thing, but I don't think they'd be silly enough to leave candles burning in this house unless they wanted it to burn down. Shall we take a look inside?
I don't know, jockey. Could just
I
be
think-
the house.
Yeah, it's more for Fox's sake because I know I didn't sleep well earlier, but I would sleep a lot better knowing that something didn't happen to him.
Look, you said you were dreaming of the house.
Mm-hmm. I seen Devitello and Miss Wheeler, and there was a horrifying third shape, which I'd rather not think of.
Both of you do an alertness roll.
Ooh, 11. That's
Yeah.
extreme.
Are you serious? I rolled an 11 as well.
Ah, lovely.
Convergence.
Thank you, Mayor
Convergence.
What does it
Um,
mean?
You both look over at the house, and you are dead sure that there's somebody inside who looks out the window at you as they went by. She seems to have her hair up, like in an old-fashioned hairdo. It's a very strange shadow to suddenly see at the window, but you're sure that's what it was.
Well, there's movement in there, but seem to.
Well, I mean, things trying to lure us back inside. I mean, look at the phone.
Yeah. Just the last thing I would want to happen is something like Fox get hurt, but I know what you're saying. The house is holding all the cards here.
What shall you do?
I think Hermes might have a little bit more explaining to do.
Yeah.
Says that-
It
Go ahead.
Going back.
All right. So you turn the car around and start back towards the house. There's a little bit of you inside that feels relief. It almost felt like the house was looking at you and staring back at you. And the farther away you get from it, the more sort of just relieved to get the fuck away from it. But you pull back up and you go into your motel room, probably a little more quiet. And you can see that Hermes is sound asleep. But Agent Lake his eyes are open. He looks up at you. He's not having.
Oh yeah, I probably have got like some of my notes that I'm going over and just rereading, and it's just kind of casually glancing over at Hermes every once in a while. Oh, welcome back. I guess I'll have to be content with the couple hours I got earlier because I can't get back to sleep. I've just been going over everything.
That's nice. And I go and I kick Hermes' bed.
Hey! What are you doing?
We're gonna find Fox.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah, almost. You're the one who let him go off by himself, aren't you? If that's really what happened.
It's what happened. What are you saying?
Well, I wish I could believe you.
Okay.
I really do.
You're asking someone to prove a negative.
I mean, he doesn't seem like he's lying.
Thank you.
I'm pretty good at reading people.
That's exactly what the
You
house
can
would
do
have
psychology.
happened.
I mean,
Human. Yeah.
human.
Yeah, it's a 36 out of 61.
Yeah, Hermes doesn't seem like he's lying.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think
I rolled a 97, so
I'm
Yeah,
definitely
Hermes could be lying.
would not be lying.
listen. I'm definitely concerned with Fox in the Wind, but
In fact, Lake could be lying about Hermes lying.
That's why I know I rolled a 97. That's why I'm
What?
like,
Like if this was D&D, it would be a persuade roll. What can I roll something to try and be like,
You could. Well, we don't have anything like persuade?
yeah, it's persuade.
Oh, it is persuade.
Persuade.
Okay. I love my dice tonight. That's a success.
So Hermes is appealing to the fact that he's a Delta Green agent and that you're all being deceived and manipulated. And that sounds like, maybe. If Fox is out there, Fox knows where the motel is. He's an adult. He might just show up next week.
I think he just had some kind of fit. Look, this isn't the Antarctic or some middle of nowhere in the woods. It's Chicago in the suburbs.
I mean, I'm concerned, but I don't think we should start pointing fingers at each other or anything.
Yeah, I mean, my point is the environment outside of the house. It's actually a nice area. So,
well, obviously the house's influence goes
him
beyond
being
it, given the
loose in
phone.
the streets is not what I'm worried about.
okay.
And the house's influence goes beyond the house itself, given the phone. Listen, I think from now on we should engage the buddy system until we get Fox back. We should always be in pairs.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, looks like we already did that at Jockey and East, and Lake and myself. Does that work?
Yeah, we don't always have to keep the same teams, but I'm just saying, if you
okay.
go somewhere, always bring somebody.
That's
all I'm saying.
what Fox and I were doing, and then
Good. Well,
he broke off. I mean, it's very unfortunate. It happened right at the moment where there was the most minute breakthrough in communication.
And so it goes that in frustration and distrust, and none of you can go back to sleep. And hours go by, and the morning comes. You look over your notes. You're very tired, but the next day has begun. You guys can order breakfast or something, but no Fox.
Anything else on the phone, or is it gone silent?
Nothing's on the phone.
If we don't hear back from him this evening, should we maybe update ASL with that information?
Let's give him a little bit, but if he's gone for too long, yes, we will inform him.
Give it a bit of time first.
Mhm.
Agent Jack,
Hopefully he shows up.
tell me more about your dream. Was there any words? Anything mentioned?
It was the same incantation I mentioned before about a dark way I have traveled, but spoken in my mother tongue, of course. And
Song,
there was
actually, like a little folk song.
like a folk song, sorry.
I mean,
And
A folk
David
song?
Tallow, David Tallow and Miss Wheeler were there, and there was a third figure that I'm trying not to imagine again.
sometimes legends, myths, folklore, they have some basis in fact, and in this case, maybe this is something we should look into. Just Italian folklore regarding and with those words, perhaps.
Certainly something worth looking up. But Jockey, this other figure that you're so hesitant to describe, I would really appreciate it if you made an effort to do so.
It's more that I'm unable to describe. It was quite obviously a male figure, but all I could make out was his lower half down. His upper half was obfuscated by shadow.
It was very dark. You couldn't tell whether he was a white person or a black person or.
But he was a
But
man.
it was
though.
definitely a man.
Yeah. Okay.
Man.
Wheeler?
And he was tall. He was bigger than the average fellow.
Big,
So-
tall bloke as well. Broad shoulders.
Does that sound like Mr. Wheeler? Let me see a picture of him.
No,
He-
not
no.
particularly.
He was long dead before then. Before this
Yeah.
all started.
Yes, but
Yeah, there's probably an old picture of him. He looks like your average 1900s fellow with a little straw hat. And
Well,
how
I mean,
were the women responding in your dream to this shadow man?
There was an octagon like shape in the middle of the room.
Which room? The den?
It was it wasn't the den, wasn't it, Tom?
yes,
That's
Yeah.
where Hermes and I'm talking about myself. Fox and I did our seance. We were considering very briefly doing it in the master bedroom, but we thought that would be certain suicide. And I basically said I would love to do it right next to the front door so we can run away. But Fox said if we're going to do this, we should do it in the center of the house.
well, let's look up that folk song. Let's examine the piano.
I
Yeah.
would very much like to examine the piano.
And then, I mean, at this point, I mean, this house is following us in dream. It's following us on the phone. It's
And
it's
well, I just want to raise one more thing. I pulled out again the foreclosure notice from the bank. Should we alert ASL about this? Should we do anything? Does Delta Green have like an attorney or somebody that could just step in and say, blah blah blah, you can't sell it right now? Or
well, I don't know what Delta Green has, but we have gasoline.
well, I've been campaigning to burn this house from like minute one.
Listen, I'm not saying I don't want to either. Twice, okay? Twice it has been tried before and miraculously, I quote, failed.
You're right. So what do? We let this thing hunt us down through our thoughts and devices.
No, I'm
until
saying
we all
maybe
die?
maybe we
Agent
use
Light?
something other than gas. I don't know.
Well, I mentioned my idea before. You guys shot it
Yeah,
down.
we're not using thermite.
Everybody do an alertness roll. It's about 8 o'clock, 8:30.
3, so yes.
Oh,
It's
20.
amazing. That's another success.
Rolling really well today.
Yeah.
Always a
Fail.
pass.
Okay, if you passed, you hear another buzz coming from Agent East's pocket.
Okay. What does the murder phone want now?
It's a phone call. Hello.
Hi, this is Elizabeth Tucker calling back. How are you this morning?
Oh, I'm doing well. How are you?
Oh, excellent. I'm doing very fine, thank you. So I've been a busy bee. I've come up with some more items for you.
Oh, that's excellent.
I've located 2 other items. One of them is an armoire that was apparently part of the original estate sale. That is owned by a Miss Joan Piedmont, and she's in Chicago proper. I went ahead and contacted her, and I sort of made up a little story. I said that you were doing a movie piece on the period. How do I want to say it? On an older family, which I didn't name, and I suggested that you were trying to look for certain pieces that were sold in an estate sale, and we identified the armoire. She said that she's not willing to sell it, but I told her that all you really wanted to do was photograph it. Of course, I'm in this business, so I did get the feeling from her that if you gave her the right price, she'd probably be willing to sell it. She said she said some funny things about it. She said that her mother gave it to her years ago, that she got it at an estate sale in the 50s, which puts it in the right period. And she said it's a lovely old armoire. It's been in her family since then. And she says, but the kids won't go near it. She says they think that it's haunted. They said that it whispers to them, and children. In any case, I've got that. Now, the second piece is a small Italian table. I don't know if it's an end table or like a coffee table or something like that. That turns out that it wasn't in anybody's house. That was in an antique dealership, also in Chicago. And I saw a photograph of it. It does seem like the kind of thing that I sometimes can sell. So I went ahead and I purchased it, and they will be shipping that over to my shop probably this afternoon. I should have it by 1 o'clock if you want to come and take a look at it.
Oh, most certainly.
But I'm 99% sure that also belonged to the Wheeler family. So that's where I've gotten so far. Some of that other stuff that you've asked, it's not been so good, but those 2 things at least.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did my associate stray a little bit? This is all we were really interested in.
Well, he had said something about some of the furniture, postmodern, I think he said, furniture. So far, nothing much has come up. There's too much of it out there.
Yeah, don't waste your time with that. I apologize.
Well, here's Miss Piedmont's address and her phone number, and I told her you might be dropping by sometime this morning, so you can give her a call until you tell her that you are on your way. And then here's my shop. I think you might have already had that address, and we'll see you around 1 o'clock. I'm very, very, and eager to meet you.
Thank you so much for your assistance. I will see you this afternoon.
You're welcome. Until then, bye-bye. She hangs up.
All right, so Agent Lake and Hermes, you're going to go look at that piano. I can go with Jockey. We can look into that folk song.
Sure.
And then swing by the Piedmonts to take some photographs of the armoire. Maybe see if we can find out what this haunted thing is about. I have a feeling of what it. Of why,
and then we can go check out the table.
And then
maybe we should buy these pieces.
Well, we'll get a fee for them first. And
hold on. We've already been concerned. The house is reaching out.
Yeah, if they're
to us, it's now reaching out to kids. No, wait a minute. Delta Green's got to get their armoire.
Yeah, we should store them in a green box or destroy them.
Exactly.
Yeah. We'll see if we can purchase it, and then the table. So whoever.
Yeah, I mean, if you can check out the folk song and the armoire, and we'll check out the piano and the table.
Just show up to the people's places with flowers. You shouldn't go to a place empty-handed. Show up with flowers.
I will not be doing that. But
here's flowers. I want to buy your table, I want to buy your armoire.
You're offering flowers, saying I just want to give you this. Thank you so much for even just letting me come see this piece. It's I've heard so much about it.
Oh, see, I can say all that without the flowers, though.
You guys, I'm sensing a lack of customer service skills here. Seriously.
Yeah, that's not what I do.
Well, you can always grow. I have faith in you.
All right, so what are you going to handle first?
Breakfast.
Well, you'll say you have
breakfast.
Just kidding. Come on.
So I will go with Jockey to the library to try to find this folk song.
Okay. This is set in modern times, so you can find an internet access.
Yeah.
So you do find the internet access. You can't find the text, but you do find that it is an old Italian 18th century folk song, somewhat obscure, coming from a part of Italy. The song may trace it may go much further back, but it was a semi-popular, especially among the superstitious old folks back in that time. So it's difficult to tell if it's singing about the difficulties one's had in life, trying to find a way out, or if it's kind of creepy. It almost seems like it's purposefully traveling along on a dark journey to find something of great value. Difficult to figure out, but you find that at least it's something that an old Italian woman might be familiar with.
Okay.
So after you've found that at the internet, what's next? The piano? How are you going to handle the piano after your phone call?
So I think we had set up like a meeting, or that she was right, or that she was that we were gonna go see her, right?
Correct.
I think you kind of left it up to her to call you back.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
But you still have her number.
Yeah. I'm gonna give her another call. Now that it's the next day.
All right. She answers, "Hello.
Hi, this is Mr. Bones. I called you the other day about the piano."
Yes. Well, how much are we talking? How much are you interested in?
Well, listen. I'm actually. Let me explain a little bit more. The reason that my associate and I are interested in the estate sales, we're actually making a movie about a certain family of the era and getting a number of pieces of furniture. So really, we'd just be interested in taking some photos. But if you're interested in selling the piece, we are interested. We were prepared to offer you $6,000, perhaps.
Oh, well, I mean, perhaps. You want to come by and see it, I'm sure.
Wonderful. Yes. Are you free at all today?
Yes. Why don't you come by in the next hour or so? And
Sure. Me and my associate will be right over. We'll see you then.
okay. She hangs up. Good save.
Shit, thanks for the help there, Tucker and,
Yeah, that
and
was-
East. All right, let's go. We'll go talk to her, see if we can get some photos. Did we get some of Garrett's cash, or am I misremembering?
No, we don't.
Is there
have
not
his
cash in the green box? I thought there was
No.
cash. Hold on.
I
No.
think there was cash in the green box.
And as a government employee, believe it or not, I'm not paid that much money. So
I mean, I'm willing to spend some bond points if it means
I'll-
doing the right
I'll-
thing.
no, I'm not saying you're on your own here. That I really want this
Uh,
piano. So why don't we, for right now, go halvesies? So $3,000 each.
Sure.
Just have to get it in cash.
Right. That sounds like probably a, what is that, a significant or a major expense?
I don't know.
I don't
You
think
know
so.
the DG will reimburse you if
Okay.
you have to purchase an artifact.
Hmm.
Well, no, I mean we definitely have to purchase these things because
Yeah.
they're reaching out to people apparently. So we got to get these.
But yeah, listen, I guess we should both get some cash, and then we will mark it down, and we'll get Delta Green to reimburse us or do something or pay us
We'll
back
get it
somehow.
worked out.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll work it out, I'm sure.
All right.
I can spare 3,000.
I mean, we're not buying a luxury SUV here. We're
Right,
buying,
right.
You know,
So yeah, so we'll get that. We'll make sure we look kind of nice, and we'll head over.
so
We
think
do have
flowers would be nice.
one of us has a camera of some sorts, right? With our equipment.
Yeah,
Or,
I,
do you have a camera? Okay.
I still have the camera from.
Okay.
the
Good.
seance.
Good.
So yeah.
Cool.
All right. So who's going?
So I guess just Lake and Hermes.
Yeah.
All
So I
right.
think the other two we're gonna go for the armoire after.
All right.
We're gonna
So
go for the piano.
you arrive. I just had her. Papers get all mixed up. Sorry. All right. You arrive at Miss Lila Cordry's house, and she greets you at the door. She's an old woman. She looks like she's in her mid-60s. And please come inside.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
She says, I hope it wasn't too much trouble. Here, let me show you. And she just sort of guides you through her house to one side of the living room. And what's there is, this is an upright piano. It's not a grand piano. It's
Right.
upright.
Baldwin.
A Baldwin. It's a nice looking piano. It has redwood front on it. It's, like carved. It's a little fancier than just a cheap piano. And there's, a place where you can put your sheet music, and it's got like a mirrored front on it, and a bench to sit on. What would you guys like to do? She lifts up the little protector that protects the keys so that you can
Sure.
see, and they're all in pretty good condition. You can see a crack here and there in the ivory.
Oh, it's a lovely piece. I can see you've been taking good care of it.
What sort of movie is it that you're making?
Oh, it's more of a period piece about some families of the time and sort of their houses and different things like that. What their life was like, what sort of their furniture was.
Well, it's honestly, it's been a while since I've been able to play our arthritis.
It's unfortunate.
Well, maybe you want to try it out. I don't know.
Well, so I'm taking pictures of it,
Sure.
and then what I would like to do is examine it more closely. Is there any type of writing on it? Someone scratch something into it. I'd like to lift up the cover where the actual strings are to see.
Yeah.
Is there an object of some kind there that does not belong to a piano or anything like that?
Okay. Go ahead and do
Maybe search.
Yeah.
Or alertness.
Awareness.
Or...
Do an awareness.
Okay. We got a 10. So
Nice.
Okay. And I gotta look at my.
I'm just kind of act like I'm examining it, like, I'm like helping take photos and, examining it to see if it's worth buying and appraising it and kind of, but really just looking, like I said, for clues.
And I just quietly say to like, do you remember what that tune was that we heard?
I don't remember the tune. I don't have any music training, but yeah.
Well, okay. So, Tom? Sorry if I just say it's in our notes, and I mention it to her.
Oh, well, I'd have to ask to pull out your notes and.
No, you're talking about. You mean the thing we heard, the something in B minor? Yeah, Rachmaninoff.
Rachmaninoff, yeah.
Well, first of all, did we find anything on the piano?
Yeah.
Did you both pass?
I got a 10. What'd you get?
This is for research?
For alertness.
Alertness.
I missed it by 2.
Okay. Happens is Ancient Hermes starts looking all over and lifting things up and opening parts of the piano. And Agent Lake, you immediately notice that that Lila starts to become a little suspicious, because it's like, if you're just going to use it as a prop in a movie, what are you looking for? You're like looking in parts of the piano that nobody's ever going to see. So she looks a little odd and incredulous, like you're looking for buried treasure,
No.
And you're pretty sure she's going to start asking questions in a minute. But as Agent Hermes lowers the front back down, you catch a glimpse of something. You see, for just a moment, a woman reflected in the mirror, sitting in front of it, playing the piano. And then the lid goes down a little bit farther, and as it does, she's out of the picture. It's almost like you wouldn't be able to see it unless you were sitting at the piano playing.
Sure, and then I'll look at to Hermes, and I'll look at her, and I'll be like, and I'll say, well, I think well, I think this is I think this is the piano we're looking for that was sold in the estate sale, don't you think?
I completely agree.
Yeah,
I was just looking to see if
yeah,
how not that I'm a piano expert, but I just wanted to make sure that the insides looked intact, and obviously we're going to need to get piano movers here, but
yeah, it's fantastic
I'm
that
set
it's
on this. Let's do this.
It's fantastic that it's still working. That'll be good for us to get a shot of it playing in the film.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you say to $6,000, and we'll cover the cost of the movers as well?
We
have cash.
That's what you said on the phone. Let me consult with my husband for a few moments.
Of
Of
course.
She leaves the room and goes out. So you guys are alone in there with the piano.
All right. Just make sure we've got all the pictures that we need in case that she doesn't want to sell. But
Yep.
I guess I'll whisper to her and be like, well, unfortunately, there's definitely something up with the piano, so we got to try to get our hands on it.
Well, I'm just trying to get all the pieces back together. But did you Did you notice anything about it? Because it just looks like
Yeah,
a piano to me.
There's something off about it. We'll talk more later.
Oh, well, we should definitely get it off their hands then. Okay.
Agent Hermes, go ahead and do an alertness roll.
Okay.
Another one.
You got it.
'Cause you're kind of
Okay.
eager.
Success.
Okay. You're curious because Agent Lake is suddenly acting oddly about seeing something. So you go ahead and sit down on the bench.
Okay.
And when you do, and you're looking into the mirror, you can see vaguely at first, but you are pretty sure you can see Mrs. Wheeler in the reflection as if you were in the piano looking out at her, and she's playing music on the piano. You can't hear anything, but you can see
Am I
her.
able to mirror her hand movements?
You can't see
with
her
my-
hands.
Can't see her hands.
You can just see her, and you can tell that that's what she's doing, is playing the piano.
I'm just going to take a moment there.
You also know that it's Mrs. Wheeler because you just saw her.
Are her eyes closed or?
Mhm.
Okay. So she seems happy though.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Interesting. I'm going to tap a key on the piano.
Okay. Do a power roll.
Okay. Please don't make me suddenly murder the old lady.
Don't give him ideas.
Wait a minute. Hang on. I was thinking of a different character. Let me make sure that's a, what I think it is. Aha! That is a success.
Okay. You tap the keys, and you can hear the keys when you're hitting them. Okay.
Sure.
But Agent Lake responds to you doing that by saying, "What's wrong? It doesn't work."
What do you mean it doesn't work? You can hear it.
Agent Lake doesn't hear anything.
Yeah, I'm not. Are you playing it?
I mean, I don't know how to play the piano to the chagrin of my mother, but I did press a few keys. You don't hear anything?
I don't hear anything.
Interesting. We should look into that later, but
Yeah, just anyway.
I'm
right.
gonna stand up away from the piano and just make sure the lid is properly closed, and we're just gonna be nonchalantly waiting. Be
Yeah,
like,
politely waiting.
yeah, it's a nice house.
She comes back after a few minutes and she says, "Well, my husband and I discussed it, and he thinks that I shouldn't ask any less than $10,000.
How about 8?
I think that I would like to get it appraised before I give it to you. You
All right.
seemed awfully interested."
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure. Like I said, we were trying to make sure that it is indeed the kind of piano we're looking for that came from the estate sale, and it is. So
Mhm.
listen, I'm prepared to offer you. How about $9,000? We call it $9,000.
And this would be cash right now.
Yeah, $9,000 cash. I can go get it for you right now. Could I maybe roll persuade?
Yeah, you can try to roll a persuade.
All right.
Can I
Listen,
assist
I
him
assure
by-
you,
by
She's a
giving him-
shrewd old lady.
I'm quite,
Apparently.
I made sure and checked it. This is worth what we say. It's a 47, so just a regular pass.
She says, "All right. Are you going to pay right now? You said you're going to go get the money."
Yes, we'll
We're
go get the
literally
additional
gonna
few
leave.
Now,
thousand. and then-
I don't have any way to transport it. You'll have to take care of
course.
that.
we'll go set that up. Thank you.
All right.
So listen. So I guess we'll say we'll go get that right now. We'll step outside. Say we'll be walking to the car to head to the ATM, and I'm talking with Hermes, and I'll say, so listen, I figure we'll swing maybe swing by the ATM, maybe come by, give her the money, and then maybe go to Tucker's office, and we can take a look at that table, and perhaps maybe she knows some piano movers that
That's a brilliant idea.
She
won't
will.
ask too many questions. Yeah. And I'm thinking have we paid for that storage unit yet? We
I
did.
paid, the first day we were there.
That's right.
I paid
So
it
we
up
can
in full.
use. We can go ahead
use
and
that storage unit.
yeah, and go ahead and use that, and then update the A cell, and they can do what they like with the antiques.
Yeah.
All right, and
Oh,
hopefully they're doing well with the armoire and the
You
folk song.
didn't hear me pressing any sound when I pressed the keys?
No, but listen, I was getting some weird vibes. I saw something weird when you were messing around with the lid in the mirror. It's definitely connected. It's definitely connected.
When I sat down, and I definitely know who it was. I've seen her in pictures. I've seen her in person. You catch my drift there. It was Miss Wheeler playing. She was right there.
Yeah, I saw a woman. All right, let's get to Tucker's.
All right, Agent East and Agent Jockey. You guys are pulling up to the house where the armoire is. You've got your photographer's equipment, and you go up. This actually is a fairly large house, rather fancy. You imagine they probably have lots of antiques. You are greeted at the door by Mrs. I lost the page. Piedmont. And she says, "Oh, please come inside. You're here to look at the armoire. Now, I'm not particularly interested in selling, you see, because these old houses don't have closets. You need a place to put your clothes. That's why people had armoires. But let me take you up and show it to you." She takes you up to one of the bedrooms, and she starts joking with you. She's like, the children used to love to play hide and seek, but they won't go anywhere near the thing. They think that it's spooky. And as you can see, it's just a lovely old armoire, and it's a beautiful old hand-carved wooden armoire.
Have you checked it for any secret worlds in the back?
The Chronicles of Narnia. No, there's no worlds in the back. However, I do have a theory. I have a theory that these old houses are a bit drafty, and they're not very good at keeping the humidity and moisture out. So I just think that it settles. It's an old piece of furniture, and it squeaks and it moves and it moans. But other than that, well, have a look. Would you guys like anything? I can make some tea or coffee, and then we can talk.
Some coffee would be lovely.
All right.
Yes, that'll be lovely. Thank you very much.
We'll
Miss
go get
Piedmont.
that for you. And she immediately goes out.
I want to take some Polaroid snaps of this.
Okay. It's a fairly ordinary but fancy turn of the century armoire. What would you like to do?
Snap a picture and get the film to dry.
This piece of furniture is easily big enough. I mean, we're talking floor to ceiling, fairly wide, at least 3 feet deep. Exactly like the one that you'd see in the Chronicles of Narnia. Agent Jockey, what would you like to do?
I'll remember what you said about the children being afraid of it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just, I don't want to be as prudent as to just open because they probably got their belongings in there. I'll just put my ear to one of the sides of it and pretending I'm knocking to make check, if it's hollow anywhere.
Okay.
Just see if I hear anything.
Do an alertness roll.
Hopefully I pass this one. No, that's 72.
It's nice, warm old piece of wood, but you don't really hear anything. You do know what she was talking about when you touch it. Just a little bit of pressure causes it to squeak, and groan a little bit. Agent East, why don't you do an alertness roll?
29 is sadly a failure.
Okay. You don't hear or see anything. What would you guys like to do next?
And the photograph comes out. Nothing's
Yeah,
there.
just looks like a photograph of an armoire.
Okay.
I'll
Here's a weird question. Are there any like kids watching us?
No.
Anyone like peeked into a room? They might be at school or I don't know what day it is.
Yeah. Kids aren't here this time of morning, no. You didn't hear any kids in the house.
How heavy is it?
Oh,
More?
it's big. Probably a couple of 100 pounds. You'd need two or
Jockey
three
and I are not
people
gonna
and
get-
a
we're not gonna move it
dolly
ourselves.
to move it.
Okay, that's the main thing.
At the most, you could move it away from the wall, but you'd be dragging it across the floor. To
Yeah,
do
we
it.
don't want to do that. So let's purchase.
It doesn't seem to be locked. There's no lock on it.
Oh, I'll open it up.
Okay. You open it up and you can see its wood interior. You get the sort of smell of cedar when you open it up. You can see there are some old jackets and things that are hanging in there. There are some shoes on the bottom. It would be a perfect hiding place for hide and go seek because it's large enough you could get 2 or 3 people inside here if you wanted to.
go ahead, East.
But when you look it over, you don't see anything in particular. You don't see any secret symbols carved or hidden passages or Narnia. No
Go on,
pine
see
trees.
if you can find Mr. Tumnus in there.
I'll see what I can do, but
Did you want to
Is-
climb inside?
is it empty?
Well, except for
close
the jackets and a couple of shoes.
Jacket. A couple of
It's
shoes.
not packed, no.
Well, I mean,
Plenty of room.
we are pretending to be eccentric movie people, I suppose. So I'll get inside.
Okay. Did you close the doors?
Yeah.
Okay.
I lock it.
You're giggling. I know I'm not there, but you're giggling.
All right. So you close the door and you're surrounded. The jackets are there and you can feel that there's, of course, a very strong feeling of claustrophobia now that you're inside and the air is very tight and quiet. And at first you think Agent Jockey is saying something to you. But the more you listen, the more you realize that's a woman's voice. And you can hear not whispering, but somebody talking. Although it's faint, it's difficult to hear. You think maybe, is it the woman downstairs? But she's definitely speaking Italian. You can hear this voice inside that armoire. But you don't have any idea what it says. Unless you do.
I don't. I'll step out
Okay.
and then ask Jockey if he wants to listen to the Italian woman speaking inside of the armoire.
Not really, but I guess I'm the only one that speaks Italian, so okay. And I
Okay.
step inside.
When you step inside and you close the door, and you have the same feeling, you hear a noise and you think that it's got to be Agent East saying something to you, but then you realize it's a woman's voice. She's speaking Italian, and she keeps saying something about l'uomo nero, the dark man. And it sounds like she's doing some sort of ritual. And then it seems for a moment as if the air in the armoire gets thicker. And you start to drift back into memories of that dream that you had. And you can hear suddenly a rather loud, booming male voice. In Italian, he says, who calls my name? And when you hear that, you push the doors open if there are more and get the hell out.
Sanity roll, I assume.
Yeah, you can do a sanity roll. And just as he's coming out, the woman comes upstairs and she's like, "Oh, here we have some coffee."
Oh,
And I
thank
failed.
You failed.
Yep.
Do a 1d. Well, take 1 or 2 points of damage, whatever you want.
I'll take 2 points considering the dream was quite
Okay.
bad.
Okay. So she serves you coffee, and she says, "So what? What?" She starts asking you about the movie again.
Oh, well, there is our first project that we're working on right now is this kind of period piece. There are a couple of older families around Chicago, and really to get that feel, we've been looking. There have been some estate sales that we've been tracking stuff down to be like precise of exactly what families of this time period would have. And then I don't know. I have a couple of other. I don't know, maybe other field projects that a piece of furniture like this would work really well for. I mean, that your kids talk about that being haunted gives me some ideas for a nice little indie horror film or something. I don't know. It's quite a fine piece of furniture.
Really like the old piece. I'd have to think about it if you were interested in purchasing it, but
Oh, I am very much interested in purchasing it.
well, I would need to talk to some people, and then, but if you give me your card, and I can give you a call.
Oh well, if you're interested in selling it, you could. We're working with an antique specialist. I believe you've already spoken with her.
Oh, that nice woman on the phone.
Yes, Elizabeth Tucker.
Yes, I do have her phone number. Yes, I do have.
Yes.
So I can contact her. And
yes, if you do want to sell it, if you decide that, I hope you.
I need to find out what it's worth before.
Oh, of course.
All right. Well, thank you. Did you have everything you needed?
Yeah. Yes.
All right. So you guys drink your coffee and talk a few niceties, and then she sees you out. And you guys all are now heading towards Elizabeth Tucker's office. All right. So it's about 1:30 in the afternoon when you arrive at Elizabeth Tucker's office. Excuse me. Come right in. They just delivered the piece about 15 minutes ago, so good timing. Let's get right to it. Well, she hasn't talked some niceties with you, and it's your bottled water. You walk into the back room, so now you're all together. You walk into the back room, and there on the floor is a table. I'd say it's about maybe 18, 20 inches high, and it looks like this.
Pretty. A triskelion. Right? That's what it is, right?
The symbol in the center is a triskelion. Yes, good guess.
That's correct.
And looks like it's all inlaid with ivory and wood.
Wait a minute. 8 sides.
Okay.
The octagon.
I'm going to place my hand on Hermes's arm and kind of gesture towards Elizabeth.
No, I know that. I'm just
Not here.
I know.
As you can see, it's an Italian-made table. It's turn of the century, maybe a little older. Looks to be in fairly decent condition.
Agreed.
Yes. Thank you. This is a great find.
All right. Take a look at it. I have some paperwork to do. I'll go in the other room and just
Sure.
tell me when you're ready.
Yeah, we also needed to set up some piano movers that can be discreet to move a piano from a woman's home to one of our storage units.
Oh, well, just give me the information and the piano. You got
Yes,
the piano.
yes, the piano.
Excellent.
That's correct.
All right. Yes, I do have her address.
Okay, wonderful.
And let me go take care of that right now. So
Sure. Thank you so much.
So she leaves. What would you guys like to do?
I thought a Triskelion was like a Northern European thing. I could be wrong.
Agent Lake. I knew you were compromised.
What a coincidence.
What do you know about
I'll take a photo or two of the table.
Okay.
Does this look like the kind of table? Because we've been to the house. Does the table look like it would be in the center of the den?
Could be.
Could be.
Agent Jockey, it does have a strong resemblance to something you saw in that dream. It was hard to see in the dark, but it was definitely something octagon shaped, and this is octagon shaped.
Just out of pure curiosity, I'll go over it, and without putting any sort of exertion or force, I just want to have a look underneath and see, would the top come off?
Okay. Do an alertness roll.
Come on, 5th time lucky. Yes, I rolled a 3.
Oh, nice. All right. So you're sort of hunkered down and you're looking at it, and the construction of it is kind of odd. It's fairly thick in the middle, which leads you to believe it's not just a flat top with, a bar going around the outside edge of it. It's actually got some thickness to it, like maybe it actually does have a drawer or a way to open it. You start fiddling around with it, pushing this, pulling that, and you can tell that the underneath the top there's definitely some sort of compartment, which you all notice that he's doing this.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Tom.
Why don't you do a luck roll?
Under 50 is good, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
50 or under.
You can also flip a coin if you have one.
37.
Nice.
Okay. There's a click all of a sudden, and a drawer slides out. And when it slides out, you realize there are a number of things in the drawer. So as you're pulling it out, you can see them first. And other agents, you notice immediately the jockey looks around to make sure that Elizabeth isn't here. The first thing, you see these all at exactly the same time, but I'm going to give them to you one at a time. The first thing you see is a copper bowl, also with a Triskelion in it, and what looks like possibly dried blood. You also see an old rusty dagger that looks like it's got dried blood all over it. And the third thing you see is a book.
Guys, just grab these real quick. Grab them. Pocket this shit.
The whole table is ours. Yes, of course we're going to pocket them.
No, I meant before the lady comes back.
Right. No,
I,
just leave them in the drawer.
Yeah, just
All
leave
right,
them in the drawer. We'll take the table somewhere else and look at them.
Fine.
The table is the size that you might be able to fit it in the back seat if you guys all kind of crowded in, All right. So she comes back after a bit, and she's got it so that the piano's going to be picked up. Where do you want it delivered?
Yeah,
I give
we'll have
her
it.
the storage unit.
The
location.
storage unit. Okay. The armoire. That's going to take a little longer because she wants to get it appraised before she gets it to you. And then what about the table?
So I figure we can take care of the table. We can bring it to the storage unit, and then we can meet the piano movers there.
Perfect. She gives you a bill for whatever her fee is.
Okay.
7,000. No, I'm just.
I would
We won't.
pay it.
We
She's
won't.
been wonderful.
We don't need that kind of realism. She gives you a bill for it.
It costs too much. And it hurts. But we're not worried about
And
that.
she lets you take it. So
All right, I think
Wonderful.
I'm starting to get somewhere. All we got to do now is get that ugly clown painting, and we can now bargain with the home.
Right, we don't want to give this stuff back.
So where are you going to go with the table?
Well, I'm just throwing this out there.
Storage unit.
What, do we? We don't want to take it to the house?
No, we want to take
den?
it to the storage unit and take a look at the book and things, and then leave it there so we can have Delta Green deal with it.
Very well.
I mean,
For now.
look, I mean, these dreams. What if there was if some entity was contacted in that house using the table and the bowl and the dagger, perhaps a sacrifice of Miss Wheeler or somebody or something, I don't know, but some blood ritual. I don't want to put those component
Okay.
Yeah,
back in that
let's
house.
take a look at everything before we start adding variables together.
Very well.
Okay. So let me interfere just a little bit. You decide to take the table to the storage unit for
Correct.
safekeeping, but you get the bowl, the dagger, and the
book.
book, and you take
Mhm.
those back to the motel.
Okay.
And that's where we'll leave it off so that Josh can be back
Okay,
for that part.
sounds good.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yes.
So yeah,
A little
so we
early, but that's a good spot.
no, yeah, so yeah, and the piano is delivered as well, so it's
Right.
okay, cool. Right. So yeah, with the piano and the table are at the storage unit ready and waiting for us, and we've got all the contents, and we're gonna meet up to sounds good.
It's a good spot. Our players included John Dos Passos, Howard Freeze, Morgan Llewellyn, Mark Anthony, and Josh Harwood will join us again next week. We hope. He's got the COVID right now, so we're keeping our fingers crossed. And I am the keeper of the secrets. We have a Discord server where you can chat with our other members. You can set up private games. You can learn the finer arts of gameplay and game mastering. There's a link below. We currently producing up to 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. The costs involved with the show are provided almost entirely by our patrons. Without them, we wouldn't be able to do what we do. If you'd like to help support our show, please visit our Patreon account. Just $1 a month helps us a lot. You can find a link in the description below. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch the bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We enjoy reading them and answer any questions you might have. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck, good gaming.